Hello.
Uh,
Hello.
no, no,
I
no, no.
are.
All right, we are back with more Fate Pride of the World.
It's been so
So,
long since we've seen you guys.
so Combo, I want to do the recap.
That's just mean.
Fuck you.
He's laughing so
You
hard the
see,
mic can't pick up.
it's the nicest thing he could do because he actually has text in front of him. We just forget.
All right. So to recap, last time you guys you split your groups up to go investigate your respective peoples. Marcus, Laguna, and Flicker went to the library where they met Renee. Flicker did a lot of
Rizzing.
he did a lot of flirting in order to get close to her to let her so that she would reveal to him what was going on with that book. Laguna decided he was going to hang back after his encounter the other session with the Karen, and Marcus decided to drag Laguna into it. Laguna stole her after talking to the boss man.
Yeah.
Um, so Laguna attempted to read the book, almost exploded his mind as you guys came into realization after talking with Jacques that that book was actually a copy of 100 years worth of an Akashic record from a different planet. You guys decided to bring Renee and the book back to Jacques. In the process of it, you come face to face with the Karen at Laguna. It might take you more than 4 hours. You got to pass the apprentice test, Laguna.
Yeah, 4 hours. Yep.
Anyways, Marcus and you guys, you start heading back with Renee in tow. When you encountered the Karen that had originally assaulted Laguna, which at first seemed like a rather tense situation, but Marcus immediately goes into channel divinity mode and just one shots the living hell out of the Karen.
To the DM's chagrin.
Oh, I thought that battle was going to take a while, especially with like all the resistances that she had and all the little special abilities that she had.
Listen, there's no Karen in the world that could stand up to Marcus. Pun intended.
You haven't encountered all the Karens yet.
That jawline gets him every time.
Oh, okay. The Chad in
That's why
you.
I said that. Yeah, that's why I said pun intended.
Have you
All right,
actually faced a Karen before?
but
No, Laguna
on
was
the
the first one to face it.
on the opposite end of the spectrum, we have Hope and Art, who went off to go investigate Francis.
Mm-hmm.
They listened in. Hope decided to follow Francis and her friend Elizabeth for a little while after their dinner. In which case, Ari decides to go to the area where they discovered that Francis was asked out on a date by a police officer after he rescued her from a being approached by a scary individual. Ari goes to that area, goes to the pub in question, and meets that said individual who actually was a really nice guy who was just getting involved to warn her because he saw someone else following her who fit the description of Jacques. When the police officer got involved. And then from Hope's end, Hope follows Elizabeth and Francis. Elizabeth goes her own way. After hearing part of their conversation, you determined that Elizabeth is actually Philip's current girlfriend. Decided you just ask Philip about her tomorrow. And went on to follow Francis. Very uneventful.
Yeah, yeah, it was very uneventful because I would like to clarify I was not the one who suggested we split up. That was all Jade.
Oh,
It was
you're gonna throw her under the bus.
No. I'm the one who suggested she go to the bar because that's her underground area. You can watch the other fate to confirm. It's
I
fine.
know. But just throw her under the bus. Anyway, so after this, Jade leaves the bar. Yeah, Ari got thrown into way worse than under a bus,
Yeah.
where she actually
Okay.
encountered the police officer with another woman in an alley. She attempted to pretend to be a child, which drew their interest, specifically the woman, thinking that she was going to be somebody that wouldn't be missed too much. And then the woman starts shape shifting into a creature that Ari has never seen before. Before the creature is able to attack Ari, her new friend Gil got involved and was basically slaughtered and the creature started eating him alive right in front of Ari. Ari took off running with the other one in tow. After she turned herself invisible. Now back to the encounter with Marcus, Laguna, and Flicker. After their xenomorph was destroyed,
More like annihilated.
Murdered alive.
don't worry, future encounters will be much more difficult.
Oh my.
Since he's got to make them Marcus proof now.
Yeah, you gotta make them Chad proof. Yep.
Hey, can we do something real quick? I need everybody to do a mic check. I seen somebody say we were all quiet, so I want to make sure everybody's up to volume.
1-to-1.
All right.
Okay.
No, it was Jecker Trade. Welcome in, Jecker Trades. How are you doing?
Well, that was a while ago. Sound off.
Zuzu, say something.
I thought I did.
Ash, I know you don't like talking, but I need you to say something too.
No.
We're doing a mic check. We need to hear you actually talk here.
No, that's all right. It's good.
I like it.
Combat, you're next.
No, I'm not.
Now, combat sounds quiet to me.
Do I?
And-
What the hell? Ah,
Now you sound better. You did
Yeah.
before a
He's
little
not
bit.
excited yet.
mic's weird. Yeah,
You gotta go back
Okay.
into puberty mode, it looks like.
shut up.
Okay, Zuzu, you're the quietest.
I have to be because if I don't, my
Her
mic-
voice pitches up and it will never hear her.
Well, no.
Correct. Well,
So
here
you should be able to pull not your mic volume up, but like the mic in the setting. You should be able to just raise that slightly so that way you're even with the rest of us.
I've tried.
Because even with
actually-
Combine talking quietly, he's still a little bit louder than you are.
And then we had the problem of the noise in the background. I can't help the sound of my voice. When I tried to turn it up in the settings, it does not work out well.
Okay, so after stream, I'm going to add some filters to your OBS so that way it'll cut the noise out and help with peaking.
Okay, you'll probably have to do it with Zansu at this computer.
That's fine.
I will end up having to go back to bed.
That's okay. I can have Zansu go to that computer and set him up.
Yeah. But getting back into it. So, for a brief moment, Renee had disguised herself as put up an illusionary wall that looked like an attachment to a house. And while she was dropping it, and before she was able to redo her disguised self, Flicker had noticed her fox ears. But before anything could be said about it, Laguna and Flicker had to take Renee on back to Jacques, and Marcus had to immediately start running after Ari because he was warned by Jacques that she was in danger through the use of his familiars.
Well, body check a a gray skinned bitch. Got tongue tied there for a second. What the hell?
You know what? I will.
I say gray skin because I know what she is as a player, but I don't want to ruin it.
Yeah, I know.
'Cause I don't think you ever said what it was, did you?
Nope.
It's still an unknown creature.
Yeah,
Okay,
there you
yeah.
go. This is what Ari encountered.
Make it bigger for stream.
Not gonna lie, we may be employing Jock's offer of revival pretty soon. I don't
You
think I can
might.
solo one of those.
Yeah, you might. It's okay. Bye.
Well, after the Xeno thing, I don't think you can now.
No, I still have some spell slots left, but
No,
even
that's
with
not
spell
what
slots, I don't.
Implying. I was
Oh,
implying
with
that
the-
Sansu might have upgraded her a little bit.
That's you may be right.
Sansu pays attention.
One shot my creature, I'll show you.
So, moving into this, I'll need a D20 from Ari, a D20 from Hope, a D20 from Marcus, and then Laguna and Flicker. You two decide which one of you is going to roll the D20.
Yeah, go Laguna.
All right.
Loaded clutch.
Yeah,
So,
Chia.
we're gonna.
I mean,
ignore that.
yeah, we're going to ignore Flicker.
That was
Though,
the worst.
Laguna, you are first. So, you and Flicker are heading back to Jacques, to the chapel with Renee and Toe and the book. Is there anything special you two want to cover?
Don't all talk at once.
You can go for the Fox girl. You can. She's with you.
It's okay. She was made for you, Kanbai.
Oh no, he had to go on mute.
Okay.
Unholy noises.
My fucking throat is killing me. All right. So we'll return back to that. We will return back to that. Marcus. Marcus.
Yes.
As you're running, you've got the familiar with Jacques in tow with you. And
Carrying him
you
like a football.
Yep. And every so often you see the tentacles, they'll point you to this direction, to this direction, to this direction. Every so often you're going into a crowd, in which case he'll turn invisible, but you've still got to make your way through the crowds. How are you doing this?
So what are we talking about? Like a narrow alleyway, street, like they're walking on a sidewalk.
Like every so often you're going down in the sidewalk and there's a group of people there in the way.
See, 1930s. So are there any roadways or like carriageways, or is it like wall to wall or building to building people?
There's roadways and there's vehicles traveling through them.
Time of night is it? Like
It's 8
pretty
o'clock at
late.
night.
That's pretty late for London. Let's see.
Okay, I think that works.
I know I'm gonna regret this, but let's just go ahead and try to slip past them at full speed.
Roll me a dexterity check.
Okay.
Oh.
Like I said, I knew I'm gonna regret that.
You're just playing American football.
Yeah, basically. Or rugby, whichever you want to call it.
What this is doing is it's effectively slowing down the amount of time that you're meeting up with Ari.
So as I bump into people, I'll be like, sorry, I gotta go.
Yeah. You come through an alleyway. There's a lot of trash cans toppled over that you're taking as a shortcut. There's a lot of trash cans toppled over. Are you going to go around or are you going through this alley?
We'll go through the alley.
All right. And how are
Y'all
you?
could see my face when I made that decision.
All right. And how are you bypassing these toppled over trash cans and everything in there?
Have to go through.
That is where they used to dump their that is where they
feces?
used to
Feces?
Yeah, before they had running toilets. Luckily in this time frame they have running toilets.
So there's toppled over trash cans. I'm assuming there's either plow through or jump over, right?
Yes.
Considering either option is going to be the same modifier, let's go ahead and jump over.
Athletics.
Hang on. Stand by.
You can't give it to yourself.
Fuck!
Hold on, let me do it. I'm on my way.
It was all fun and games until we saw the D4 roll.
Okay.
Zenzu knew exactly what I was going for, too.
Okay, I'm giving it to the game.
You gotta be kidding me. Alright, well, at least it's better than a 10.
Yeah, it's better
It's better than a 10.
It's
You're
definitely better than a
okay.
2.
than a 10.
Sakes. I'm proficient in athletics. What the hell?
You got a total of a 5.
Guess
All right,
what?
so you don't take damage from tripping over one of them mid jump.
Thank you, Zuzu.
You're welcome. I can be a cleric off fate too. It's just don't make me be
I-
one in fate.
I got your back next time.
You come
Yay.
across. There's actually a specific alleyway that you come across, and it's got like multiple outlets towards it. And you see Jacques looking around, kind of confused, or his familiar.
So the familiar's confused, like not sure which way to go, kind of confused.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm gonna look around at my options and then look down and be like, all right, where are we going?
I know. Uh,
How many options?
3 options.
3 options? Let's see. Let's do.
Maybe
I'm gonna
the
do a D.
middle.
Oh, I was gonna say I'm gonna do a D6 and whatever that lands on, I'm going that direction.
Well,
'cause
you
I'm
can
not gonna wait.
obviously tell that he's uncertain. So all
Right,
3 of them will take us there. I don't know if
Which
we'll
is the
get
quick-
there in time to catch her or get behind her.
Okay, 1 or 2 is option 1. 2 or 3 and 4 is option 2, and 5 and 6 is option 3. Okay, so option 1.
There's
All right.
that one. Thankfully, it was the D6.
So you take
And
the
Marcus is
left.
just gonna. Yeah, he's just gonna start booking it again.
All
No
right.
time for indecision.
All right. We're going to pull away from you.
Okay.
Laguna and Flicker, since Flicker is feeling a little better, your trip back to the chapel.
Nice.
Last I remember, Laguna had Renee by the hand and was very forcibly taking her back to the chapel. Is there anything special that you guys are doing about it? Nothing that you just survived an encounter from a shape-shifting xenomorph.
Is Flicker in shock?
Must be.
Good question. What's going on again? Like, what are we doing? Like,
So you and Laguna's got Renee by the hand and is leading her back towards the chapel because you guys got to turn into this book. You guys split up from Marcus after Marcus killed the shape-shifting xenomorph.
okay.
But right now you're in the imperativeness of this book has to reach the chapel.
And who's holding onto the book currently?
She is.
Alright, cool.
She is not willing to part with this book.
Okay. Let's see, and it's 8 p.m., right?
Yes.
Okay. Is there anyone chasing us? Is there like?
Roll me a perception check.
All right, yeah, sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh shit! There was a cat
Ding,
here.
First nat 20.
Yeah.
So there was a cat here,
Yay.
and I didn't. He just jumped at that exact time.
Combine rolled a nat 20, Sansu rolled a nat 1.
My baby.
Aww.
Yeah, that's our baby Mo. And I would like to clarify for the record, we named him Mo because he had siblings, so it was Eeny, Meeny, Miny, and Mo.
Yes.
Combine gets an inspiration.
Well, that's weird. It usually goes to Irie.
Yeah.
Well, I've been doing it for whoever gets the first nat 20.
Yeah, that's appropriate.
It makes sense.
And Hope has no. Okay, cool. Don't worry
So
about it.
come by on your character sheet. Go ahead and give yourself a inspiration point.
Just did that, yeah.
Okay. So as you're looking around, it's kind of crowded, but you are noticing Catholic priests suddenly are more prevalent now.
Remind me again, what was the contents of the book, if we're allowed to know?
I will remind you, it is basically 100 years worth of a copy. It's a copy of 100 years worth of the Akashic records of a different planet.
Oops.
Basically, all knowledge, all events of a planet's life for a century got the prophet had to sacrifice their life using their body as a catalyst in order to touch the root of that planet and record all of that information. Yeah. Every life, every skitter, every scutter, everything gets recorded into this book.
Even Scooter.
And that damn fish. That cursed fish.
I will state that you do know that the Catholic priests, because this goes a while back, you know the Catholic priests are mostly there keeping a tab on you guys over the incident with Felix.
Felix. Remind me again who that is.
Felix was the paladin that started off with you guys, who went missing, that Marcus has identified as now being a vessel for an archfiend.
Got it.
But since he was originally part of your group and was associated with you guys, the Catholic Church is keeping very close tabs if they're able to.
So they're not like openly hostile, but they're like wary, is what I'm getting at.
They're not openly hostile, they are monitoring.
Okay, that's fine.
I do want to know what kind of pace you guys are taking.
What face?
The good
Pace.
is moving just as fast as Marcus is.
Yes.
No.
Brisk walk.
Brisk
Yeah.
walk.
Oh, I figured he'd be running. He wants to read that book.
I could say something. I don't think I will.
Go
Let's
ahead.
see.
It's 18 plus.
I'll think about it. Oh gosh.
Congrats on that Bruxish catch, 1-1.
And Jade.
Oh, and Jade. Anything else from you, Flicker?
Not really. I'm just like looking around, trying to
Okay.
be cautious a little.
All right, we're going to move on to Hope. Hope, you've re-entered the temple. I think it's fitting. Ari's rolled the slowest or the lowest, and she's got the most suspenseful thing going on.
Yes.
Hope, you've reached the chapel. As you walk in there, you see Jacques is sitting at a table. There's like a crystal ball. He's got his hands on it, but he's like face down on the table.
Not the weirdest thing I've seen. As she says, as she slowly approaches Jacques.
His eyes are closed and he's groaning.
I could make a lot of jokes like that, but Hope knows that something important is going on. She also looks around to see if Marcus, Ari, or any of the others have arrived back.
Not at this juncture.
She's a little worried. She knows that at least somebody should have been back by now. And without any other guidance as to what's going on, she sits on the pew, keeping her awareness up.
Okay.
Like I said, she's very naive.
About 15 minutes into this, Laguna Flicker comes running in with Renee
Hope,
and this book.
Hope immediately stands up upon the arrival, and her focus is onto the girl at first, before she looks around to the looks around to Laguna and Flicker. Actually, for the contents of this stream, can we pull up Renee's photo? I don't think Combi's seen it.
Do, 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 do. This is her human form, Combi.
Okay.
This is how she, yeah, this is how she appears when she's in disguised self.
Yep. And she also. How big is this book? Is it like a really big book?
It's think like a encyclopedia.
Okay, so it's a thick book.
Yeah, it's a thick book.
As she looks around at two of them and asks, "What's the rush? Where's Marcus?"
Just gonna go straight up to Jacques and kick him in the back. Book.
Oh.
Here.
He pulls the book from your hands, and you see him take this book, and he glances over it, opens it, reads through it a little bit. Oh. Immediately shuts it wide-eyed. I didn't even think, dude. It's been so long since this book has been here.
I'm guessing that's a magical book.
Yeah. This right here is a very detailed account of everything from the last 50 years that the planet Samsara existed. It also covers the exact events of what caused the blood war between the Karen and the Morons.
Oh. And she looks over
He's,
to Renee again.
she looks utterly confused. I'm sorry. Samsara? At this point, you see him wave of hand, open a portal, and he enters his hand in there and he pulls out, and there's like this protective case. It's got a red velvet pillowed interior that he places the book in, and then glass appears to cover it. He says, he's going to look at you, Laguna. He says, we'll take this to the archives later.
I'll read this later. Got it.
Much later. Love the enthusiasm, little man. You still got to pass your apprentice test. And he's going to pat you on the head. And not to delineate everything too much, he's going to sit down Renee, and then he's going to start explaining the concept behind the Morons, the Karens, and everything that's going on. Marcus!
Nobody
Hey, yo.
answered my question about where's Marcus. Oh,
That was on them.
yeah.
Laguna has a one-track mind, and Flicker also
Has a
seen
one
something
track.
he really enjoyed.
And you say, where's Marcus? Jacques is going to hold his hand out, pound his fist down, widen his eyes. It's like, oh, that reminds me. He's going to start going back to the crystal ball. Ari's in danger.
What? Where is she?
She's on her way back. I've got Marcus on his way to intercept her and help bring her back safely. She encountered some doppelgangers.
Uh-oh. We now know what it is.
Oh.
Nasty little shapeshifter things.
Tell me what
Very
the...
hard to.
I have to go and help them. Listen, I'm trying to make up.
I'm dead.
I'm trying to make up. I'm trying to fix my mistake here. I was now realizing she made a really bad error.
If you could, it'd actually be more beneficial right now if you could help Renee feel more at home and at peace and explain the situation to her.
That either implies making tea or just making sure there's more wheat being burned.
Well, information. She's kind of confused.
All right, all right. Hope is really worried, but she trusts Jock, and so she goes over to Renee and helps explain the situation to her, seeing how she's now caught up in this magic battle and everything.
Yeah. Decaden, you might want to thank Zuzu for that.
What?
Jacques stepped away from the crystal balls and diverted his attention.
Ah, okay.
He was no
Thank you, Zuzu.
longer. He was no longer an operation of his familiars.
Arcus is out there just running blind.
Ari, it is time for you, Ari. So where we left off with you, you were invisible. You're attempting to run from the shapeshifter.
I hear that.
Are you going? What kind of a pace are you keeping?
My pace will be a brisk walk while I study my surroundings.
Okay, roll me another perception check. All right. Now, I will say before you nat 20'd and managed to determine that he wasn't immediately following you, but as you're walking through it, you come across an alley and there's like this stumbling homeless man knocks over a trash can and steps out into the road and just starts looking around.
Did I go directly into that alley?
No, you're walking by it while it
Walking by it.
happens.
Okay, I avoid the man and keep walking.
Okay. As you're walking, you start seeing more and more people. You're seeing police officers.
I'm seeing more police officers. Do they have the same do they resemble the two that I just saw in any way?
Roll me a wisdom saving throw.
Wisdom save.
Let's go.
All right.
All right, that's pretty good. Your mind immediately goes back to the two, how they were shape shifting. You start getting uncomfortable at the thought. I'm going to leave you to your own devices to determine who's real and who's a shapeshifter in disguise, but you will not be consumed by fear and paranoia.
Okay, so I'm supposed to be the one determining if they are shapeshifters or not?
Yeah,
Oh, lovely.
that's how it would
Don't
go in
trust the
real life.
popo.
So what?
Don't trust the popo.
Don't trust the popo. Well, either way, I'm gonna try to avoid them. Anyone who approaches me up close, I will just try to. I will just try to sneak away.
You
you
are
still
invisible.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I was
she's
gonna
I
in-
say.
believe I'm still invisible, but I'm anyone who I'd still like to keep aware and see if anyone even senses me.
At some point, you see Marcus's head above the crowd.
Marcus's head.
Yeah, you see Marcus in the crowd.
Tumbling over trash cans.
Tumbling over trash cans.
Now, is she actually seeing him or just a floating head at this point? How paranoid are you?
Well, I think that's what the
she-
wisdom check was for.
She sees Marcus up ahead in the crowd, looking around very aggressively.
Okay.
All right. I'm seeing Marcus, and I'm slowly walking towards. I'm slowly walking towards Marcus as I see him tumbling over a trash can.
He's not tumbling over a trash can. He's basically in the middle of a sidewalk area, and you see him just like go in circles, looking around,
Oh,
very aggressively looking.
I'm gonna wait until I get within a few feet of him before I before I say anything. This way I
Roll me a
don't draw any
wisdom
attention.
saving throw with advantage. You have advantage on this.
So the other one was with advantage,
No,
or should have been. No.
no. You got
Oh.
advantage on this one because you passed the other one.
Okay.
All right, make your own
Yeah.
decisions.
Go with your heart.
I'm thinking that I was a fairy and I could have snuck into his pocket, but I'm not. I don't think that's possible with this character.
You're not Mew.
I'm not Mew.
You're not
No, you're
you.
just a
You're
scared,
you.
frightened little halfling on the run from shapeshifters.
As as Marcus is looking frantically back and forth, I go ahead and tug on his arm and say, Marcus? Marcus, is that you?
Marcus will just stop dead in his track and just,
I didn't say it was you, Marcus.
oh, you bastard.
You bastard.
I kind of figured with the wisdom checks.
No, it was Marcus. Marcus.
Oh, you bastard.
Oh, you bastard. Oh my gosh.
The wisdom saves were the wisdom saves was against the paranoia.
You-
All right, now that we've determined it is actually Marcus, I'm going to go ahead and continue what I was saying. But he'll just stop dead in his tracks and kind of through his peripheral look down and not see her. So he'll just squeeze what he feels like is her hand to reassure her. Sorry, I was putting food in my mouth.
You're fine. Ari starts to tear up and just gives him a big hug. It's like,
As you
Like,
do this,
headbutts his hip.
Ari,
Mhm.
your familiar suddenly becomes visible. Marcus, your familiar suddenly becomes visible. The tentacles like reach out to each other, grasp one another, and both of them collide in and fuse into one familiar, and then immediately shoots up into the sky.
I might be a romantic, but that sounds like two souls finally became one.
oh my god.
I mean, when you take in
Squid.
consideration, when you take into consideration, like their tentacles actually come out of their mouth,
came out of my mouth.
French kissing.
It's like,
Oh my gosh.
But yeah,
It's a scene from Lady and the Tramp.
but they basically their tentacles reach out, grab a hold of each other, fuse into each other, and without saying anything, blast off into the sky, back towards the way you came, Ari.
Our mouth tentacles.
Yes.
So Marcus, now that he's determined it is her, he's gonna just like look down and where he thinks she's at and be like, "Where's Hope?"
Oh, thank you. For once, some sympathy.
Oh.
Well, all he knows is Ari was in danger, but Hope
And
is not
Hope's
with
not
Ari
there. Where's Hope? She's either in danger or
or in trouble.
she's either in trouble or she's going to be in trouble.
That gal is grounded.
All right. All right, getting back into it. Ari's just going to stop, look at Marcus, and like just look at it dazed.
Are you still invisible?
I imagine my face peeks through the cloak. Does it not?
It's armor. It's not a
Oh,
cloak.
it is armor. I don't know why.
It's
cloak.
armor. It's
Harry
armor.
Potter.
Yeah. It's,
Yes. Okay.
it's armor, and through the gem, there's a magical charge in it that you can use to cast a spell on yourself.
So you would have to break the spell to become visible again.
Well, I'll break the spell so this way, since I'm determined for sure that this is Marcus, and I say,
On the way back, Marcus has mentioned something about being very hungry and looks at Ari.
See, I was wondering. So I was wondering if I was gonna get a ping about something similar to that. Like I'm looking at my DMs, going, "All right, he's gonna message me saying it's not actually you, but go ahead and keep playing it." Because honestly, that's something I would do as a DM.
I had considered it.
I expected it. I'm sitting here like staring at my DMs, going, "All right, I've got Zansu pulled up. Just wait for the words to pop up saying Zansu is typing."
Ari's gonna look up at Marcus.
I'm hungry.
Check your DMs, Jade. Zansu probably mentioned you.
You thought it was
By the
Marcus.
way, By the way, Marcus, as this is going on, what's your surface thoughts?
Oh, fuck my life. Concern, relief. Definitely not hunger. And not necessarily like a paternal protective instinct, but more like a
Sibling.
yeah, like a familial protective
Fraternal?
instinct.
Fraternal?
No, not paternal. Yeah, fraternal.
Yeah, that's what I was saying, fraternal.
Alrighty.
Quiet.
So
Bastard.
describe to me this fraternal feeling. Like, how, this is your actual thoughts. Like, how are you going about thinking this?
So the initial thoughts would be, I'm going to murder somebody if they hurt my friends. And then it's going to be like, okay, well, she's now safe with me, but where's the other one? That kind of thought.
Okay. Now, you two continue on.
Marcus, I I don't know where she's at. I I decided to go to the bar to investigate, and uh, um, can we go back, please? Please let's go back.
All right, we'll go back. I've got to ask Jock a few questions anyway, either with my fist or with words.
I grip onto Marcus the whole time as we walk back.
Listen, if he's that protective, he's carrying you. You're just a child.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I'm being
You're being
carried.
princess. Yeah, you're getting princess carried all the way back.
Yay!
Flicker's not the only one.
To be fair, if it was reversed and it was Hope in the same situation, she'd also get
How
princess
fun.
carried back. If it was Laguna, he'd also get princess carried back.
Well, so far to
Way
this
to ruin
date,
this for me to get. Way to ruin it.
Actually, wait, how tall is Laguna? I think Laguna's height's the only one I don't really know.
5'2".
5'2"? Oh yeah, definitely getting princess carried back.
Ash remains mute.
Flicker,
Alright.
I believe, is
He said something, but
he said 5'2".
yeah.
Flicker, how tall are you? Or your character?
Isn't he 5'9"?
It's somewhere on my sheet.
5'8". It's under the
5'8".
next section.
So yeah,
Looking
Flicker would get princess carried too.
Flicker's already been princess carried by DN.
Yes.
That's right.
That's how. That's the rest of you were part of an arrest. Flicker was part of an rescue attempt. Flicker's basically the effective witness protection. The rest of you are do this for me or suffer dungeon.
I still don't even know what Hope did to get herself arrested. Just,
Wrong place, wrong time.
I'm starting to think that's the case.
Guilty by association.
Yeah.
So with that, I would like for us to take like a 10-minute break.
Okay.
It is approximately 8:30. Marcus, you and Ari make it back safely. You see the rest of them sitting in there. Hope's talking with everybody's talking to Renee, getting her caught up on the situation. You do see Jacques laid over the table, his hands on the crystal ball. Now, instead of being completely unconscious, though, he's got a very focused stare at the ball.
All right, we'll get back to that when we come back from break.
Yeah.
All
We'll
right.
be back in 10 minutes, everyone. And we're back. Almost all of us.
Hi, everybody.
We were having too much fun. And, 1-2-1's on a bot spamming spree. Got that
Yes,
head
I've been
Well,
beating up all
crushing.
them
It,
bots.
Yeah.
it wasn't just that we were having too much fun. Combi had something that he had to step away for, and we were waiting to see if he was going to make it back. But I'm going to message him right fast. All right. So returning back into it, Marcus, you and Ari make it back to the chapel. He's not. You see Jacques. He's got the crystal ball at the table. It's not so much that he's laid over it like he was before. At this point, he's able to sit up and stare at it, but he's very focused on it. And you can see like his eyebrows are furrowed in.
So Marcus is gonna basically walk past everybody straight to Jacques and be like, "What the hell, man? How are you gonna ditch us and not tell us where Hope is?"
He's not even going to look away from the crystal ball. So, do you have any idea how difficult it is having your mind split into 3 different bodies at once?
Oh, I'm sure it's difficult, but at least you could have said along the trek was, "Hey, Hope's okay."
You never asked about Hope.
You said Ari is in danger. I assumed Hope was with Ari.
Well, Ari was in danger, and that proved to be a far greater emergency.
All right, well, next time a little bit more details would be nice. I get that you can put your consciousness into familiars, but I need a little bit more detail.
I think Hope's gonna take this moment to interrupt, because she sees a little bit of trouble brewing, and she's gonna ask, "Is Ari okay? Does Hope even
She's
see
there.
Ari?"
Yeah, she's visible. She's there with Marcus.
Yeah, Marcus is still princess carrying her.
She grabs Ari's head with both her hands, one on each side. It's like, that is the last time you ever suggest we split up again. I'm hearing
Ari just
doppelgangers are after you. Do you realize how much danger you were in? And I
Marcus,
ended up.
this is the first time you and Ari's heard the words doppelgangers from.
And then I'll stop whatever I'm ranting about and look at Hope and go, "What did you just say?"
Doppelgangers, that's what he told me what was going on.
So, quick question, Zansu. Is Marcus familiar with doppelgangers?
Roll me an Arcana check.
Okay.
I'm gonna just say I already know, because I'm a light cleric.
Well, roll me an Arcana check if you want to know if you know.
Oh, how about we all roll?
There we go.
Yeah, Marcus, you know exactly what doppelgangers are.
So his demeanor is going to go from
I've heard of them.
anger to concern, because if doppelgangers are in the area, that is not good.
Jacques is going to. He's at no point breaking concentration from this crystal ball. He's like, my familiar's out there following them. I'm tracking them right now, getting whatever information I can. These things have to be dealt with. They've already eaten one person right in front of us.
I'm guessing.
Do we have a number yet?
No.
I know at
Ari
least
just
two.
starts shaking.
Are you good?
Ari's eyes tear up, and
Yep.
she stays silent.
You'll have to give it time. I'm following one right now. We'll have to give time for him to make it back to the nest.
Yeah, there's generally never just one.
Is these doppelgangers
We-
Karens?
No, no. In a sense, they're far more insidious. They might not be as physically dangerous, but
So
I-
Marcus is going to take a second and look down at Ari and be like, I know this is going to be difficult, but did you see their forms before they showed you their grayskin form?
I can't remember.
yeah, you did.
She's asking for something to help calm her.
We have weed over here. Let's use it.
Where's the weed?
The answer is there.
A portal,
Hit us with the bong.
right? A portal opens up, and you see tentacles just pulling down this bag in a bong.
Hey, this Mora guy's not bad at all. He's a good guy.
Yay, tentacle weed!
Oh no.
She hung
Behold
it
the
up on
bucket for
floor.
forgiveness.
That I missed. on that episode.
A lot.
Marcus returned with Ari. They get in a conversation. Jacques is currently attempting to track the doppelgangers. It's released now that what Ari encountered was in fact doppelgangers.
Yeah, we were just role playing. Ari
Yeah.
asked for something to calm her down. A portal opens. Tentacles come out carrying down marijuana and a bomb.
Lol.
You know what Jacques about. He's not hidden that at all.
Here, smoke this, Ari. You'll feel better soon. And I'm being dead serious. That is what Hope
Mar-
is saying.
Marcus to Hope, how do you even know how to use all of that?
Medicinal.
Priestess?
Because I saw you guys smoking it earlier. You idiots. I was watching.
You were watching them do a blunt. You were watching them do...
Well, I imagine. Listen, I've never smoked one in my life. I'm assuming it's the same thing.
Either.
Of high elves?
I'm
I
just
find that
assuming that's how
offensive.
it works. I'm assuming you guys also know how to smoke. I'm just trying
No?
to support it. No, I meant the characters. Ari and Marcus.
Marcus does not partake.
It would depend on if it's a water bong or a regular bong.
Wait, there's differences in bongs?
Yes, there is.
Okay,
Yes.
just assume.
There is a lot of differences.
Hope has come to a sudden realization she may not know how marijuana actually works. Listen, I studied basic herbs in church. This is new to me. And Sans is laughing. You can't hear him because of the pitch, but he's
I
laughing.
got a part of it. Don't worry.
There's the water, there's the gravity, there's the regular, there's the.
Gravity. Yeah, that's the moral brand right there, gravity. Because it just sounds so
Yeah, all right.
Don't even get me
Right.
started on the different types of pipes as well.
Oh my, yeah, I know, right? Listen, I'm close to 40. I've been around the block a few times.
Listen, just because
I'll
you're
be
40
rapping.
doesn't-
Same.
Just
Wow, you
because
are
you're
all over.
40 doesn't mean you're experienced. Age has nothing to do with it.
We grew up in an age where it was a little more commonplace for teenagers.
Yes,
We don't have baby now. It kind of sucks ass.
mostly because our parents were hippie babies.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, our parents were wild childs.
Anywho, back to
Back to the story. the actual game.
So we're getting Ari high so she can calm down.
Roll me a Constitution saving throw, Ari.
She needed it.
Ari, you're stoned and basically suffered the effects of poison.
Oh. I don't know what that laugh means, but I'm assuming it's not good.
I see the glowing man.
Do you see Puff the Magic Dragon? That's the one term I do know.
So noticing, do I notice if she's completely out of her mind?
Yeah. It,
Okay, so
with a
I'm
5,
gonna
it
take
doesn't take much to notice.
I'm gonna take this opportunity to find the closest pew to lay her on so she can rest, and then the rest of us can hash out whatever needs to be hashed out.
No, glowing man, don't drop me.
You're not getting
I'm
rid
not
of
gonna
it.
drop you.
Don't
Fine,
drop me.
I may need to make a check for this, but I'll continue carrying her.
You need to do a check for Constitution too.
Oh, what?
Marcus is gonna hold Ari, so he needs
Hope
to.
and Marcus, roll me a Constitution saving
No,
throw.
not Hope. She's staying away now.
Well,
All right. You managed to avoid the contact high.
heck yeah.
You do feel a little calmer, but you're not high.
You know, that actually
That's good, 'cause-
for
Yay!
Marcus because he did come in so angry.
Yeah.
So that might be just what he needed to. Now then. Oh, let's see. Back to.
I mean, I am a protector ASMR, so it's kind of in the name.
What?
The type of ASMR I am is protector.
I just love the fact that you get a Asthma or Tiefling together. The Tiefling can look at the Asthma and be like, "You're such an asthma."
No, Hope wouldn't say that. For one, Hope is not going to mention anything about her being a tiefling.
But for
Did
one,
did we ever?
Hope's not a Tiefling, and no, the only one that knows this is Marcus.
Yeah, I was about to say, did we ever determine that Hope found out that Marcus knows?
No,
No.
we never did.
Okay, so yeah, Hope is still oblivious that Marcus knows. Okay.
Yeah. And she's
Does he
freaking
know?
out because she's still a little freaked out about Marcus because she doesn't know what he's going to do about her being.
Right.
All right. So, are anybody else doing anything during this period while Jacques is? Because Jacques going to have a talk too.
Okay, I'm good.
Flicker.
Nothing comes to mind. No.
You're not even going to hit on her?
Okay, I can't. Yes, I'm going to do that.
I'm
Gonna
almost
flirt with Renee.
disappointed-
Let's go.
I'm almost disappointed you waited this long.
About time.
Yes. And you said
Tell me
you
what
love
you're doing in the flirt.
girls.
Pardon me?
Flirty.
Tell me what you're doing with Renee.
Respectfully.
You got a
We're
light
18
cleric
plus.
and a paladin. Be
We're 18
respectful.
plus. I don't give a shit how respectful you are.
Oh no.
Just don't make it uncomfortable.
'70s adult films music starts playing.
I did not expect I'd get this far. I will
Come
say,
on,
you know,
Bard. We set you up for this. Let's go.
Oh no, he's gun shy. Is that how you use the term?
I'll let you continue to
Yeah,
think about
kinda.
it. Jacques is going to
Oh yeah.
Jacques is going to call back. He says, so like these both situations have turned out to be two completely separate situations. In all technicality, bringing the book back here counts as the favor that you owed.
Technically.
That being said, I would greatly appreciate your assistance in dealing with these doppelgangers.
Hope's immediately going to agree, but she's also going to mention, should we get Diane involved in this? Or Deanne?
Marcus will also agree.
Well, here's the thing. Once I follow them back to their nest, I don't know how long we have before they go back out on the prowl. And considering they're able to change their shapes, we kind of have to hit them when they're least expecting it.
Oh, I was going
Can
to
you
say
get a message back to Deanne
I was going to say he can
to let
bring
her
some-
know?
Yeah, someone can summon a familiar and send her a letter or something. That's what I was going at. But, you know, Decaden said it better than I did.
Oh, that was Marcus.
Oh, Marcus, too, yeah.
That being said, if the five of you agree to help me out with this, then I'd be willing to offer each of you an individual reward. A favor earned is a favor given.
Oh, sure.
I mean, Hope was going to go down for it. Was already down for it, so.
No. We would like the reward, please. Thank you.
The bard has finally snapped out of it.
To be fair, the only thing I'd be willing to hold now is Renee, but I think me having this bag is still useful.
Yes.
Is
Listen, I'm
cool
good at it.
about
I just don't
Renee,
like people.
Are we cool about Renee though? Cause like, she is a human, a non-magical human.
I'm just gonna stare at her really slowly.
Honestly, this is all a lot for me to take into. I do know some magic of my own, so it's not like I'm completely oblivious to the magical world.
Okay.
You know what? Hang on. I'm curious. Stand by. I need to know. All right. Yep. I'm gonna do it.
What are we doing?
I'm rereading before I actually commit. Okay. So
All right, let me.
and I'll check it off if it didn't already do it.
No, it didn't.
Yeah, I did it. Yeah, I'm not sure if they added automated spell checking just yet. For you, maybe.
Yeah, and
it would boost Flicker's morale for sure.
I mean, that is important.
They'd lose all his turns staring at her, though.
Yeah,
True.
she's
Very
safer
true. It'd be
here.
I still have
distracting.
words.
It would be safer for all of us if she stayed with Jock.
Although we would probably get more bardic inspiration because he would try to serenade her while we're in combat. So
Well, okay, we're leaving it up to Renee. Flicker, do you think?
I
Marcus,
think
Marcus,
Zansu knew where I was going with what I did. So
you detect a hint of celestial.
okay, and it's not me.
From Renee.
Okay, so Marcus is gonna look at Renee and go, "Care to explain what you are?"
She's going to turn her head. I don't know what you're talking about.
Not to be rude, but I have the ability to detect these things.
Detect what?
He's not gonna reply. He's just gonna hold eye contact with Renee.
She's not holding eye contact. She's done looked away, and you see her almost take a pouty look.
Flicker, she
Ma'am,
does the pouty face.
to be quite frank, I'm not privy to feminine wiles. I just want
I
to
am.
make sure my friends are going to be safe. That is all I care about.
She drops the disguise spell, and you see the auburn foxtail come out from behind her,
Ah,
and 2 fox ears. She says, "It's not necessarily something I hide over malicious intent.
lycanthropy?
No. No, it's my race.
Ah,
I, we were hunted a lot.
Does Marcus know what she is?
You know, if
Hope's first
You know.
thought was that she was a werefox.
That's a quick question. Does Flicker know what she is? Like, considering Chinese and foxes are actually, a thing apparently? There's like, no, like, something Chinese folklore. There is foxes involved. I just need to find it.
I know that the Japanese has kitsune, but I'm not sure about the Chinese.
That's why I was asking to determine whether she was a kitsune or a different kind of fox hybrid species.
Yeah, there's Chinese fox groups.
There's actually a lot of different fox spirit type species.
Yeah, that's a funny bit.
Many different folklores use it.
Yeah.
she at this point, she is going to lock eye contact with you, Marcus. And she says, "You'll just have to trust me on this, but please, for my own safety, I can promise you that it won't endanger you or your friends. But please, don't go too far into detail."
Okay, at that point, Marcus is just going to give her a warm smile and go, "Suits me just fine."
And she seems almost uncomfortable.
I'm gonna try to get her to calm down or something. I don't know. Make her feel better. Like
He's finally gonna flirt with her.
He's been flirting with her in the chat.
Okay.
Yes.
Well,
I'm not saying that IRL, but
You'd have to read it, but
Well, I'm wondering for the viewers that are just listening.
I doubt we'll long rest between now and tracking down doppelgangers. I'm pretty sure it's going to be immediate conby.
I was
Oh,
thinking we
man,
might
alright.
end up having time. I thought that was the setup.
Well, he's taking time to look through them. You're definitely going to get a short rest.
Okay, that'll work for me. Mostly because I had to see everyone else get battered.
I was actually contemplating asking if you can roll insight to Renee's words, but then I remember I look at my flaws. I don't think I'll roll insight.
All right.
Okay, I'm not rolling it. Yeah. I'll just put this in the VC chat.
That's a very, very understandable flaw.
All right. So after an hour, it is now 9:30. You see Jacques start to relax. And he leans back and lets go of the crystal ball. And he's just breathing kind of heavy.
Everything all right?
I think I've got them. I found out their location. They're starting to settle down for the night. If you go early in the morning, you should be able to catch them while they're still resting.
If it's 9, then we also have time to long rest. Question is, do we want a long rest here in the temple? I say yes, but I'm leaving it up to everyone
Sure,
else.
why not?
So wait, it's 9. The plan is to go in the morning, so that would be enough time for a long rest.
Basically, I would suggest you get some rest to give them time to completely settle down and go to sleep themselves. And then go early, like 3, 4 o'clock in the morning.
That sounds like a good plan.
Okay.
I've got the address. There are 3 of them. Oh, I just got one more thing to take care of. And you see him go over and pick up the case where the book, where he's had the book this whole time. He said, now it's time for me to return this to the archives where it belongs. Would any of you like to hear the story of Samsara?
I would.
Marcus will take this time to sit down at a pew and lay Ari next to him and just put her head on his knee. And then just kind of prop back and be like, all right, let's hear it.
Ari accepts this.
I guess Hope remains standing. She's laser focused
This-
on Jock now.
I am indifferent mainly because
You're
I don't
distracted.
know
We know.
what I do.
This will also tell the story of the beginning of the blood feud between the Karen and the Morons. Every 1,000 years, there's three of them. There's Karen, Moro, and then there's Goon. You already know that Moro protects the information and knowledge gained by the mortals. Karen seeks to destroy Goon exists to proliferate life, create new life, to be more specific. Every 1,000 years, Goon awakens from their nap. And there comes an accord. Moro gives off a list of planets that he absolutely refuses to lose. Karen goes out and destroys a set of planets so that the balance is kept, while Goon goes out and creates planets with new life. "930 years ago, one of these planets was Samsara. It was situated on Moro's list due to their research. They had a very significant research that mixed magic and technology. And one of the things that they were researching, in order to keep track of the more prolific deities in their realm, because their deities has a tendency to wander around, and it gets very hard for the followers in order to understand their intent when they almost never interact with them because they're always on the move. So they were in the process of researching how to track, how to break through the ethereal plane, how to trade through the ethereal plane and track them. Now, this holds a lot of significant things, such as here on Earth, we would be able to keep track of all the devils and everything in hell, as well as all the celestials and angels and demons and everything. We would be able to break through that barrier as a means of monitoring it without sending our physical bodies. Needless to say, it's a rather significant development. So Moro, interested in this, decided to keep Samsara on his list. At first, Karen and Goon agreed, though they didn't know what the research itself was. Cut to one of those deities. They have their own deity of destruction, who felt like the people in that area were attempting to fly too close to the sun. So he began to do his own form of destruction upon them. Now, another deity decided to get involved, one who's a bit of a trickster. And honestly, they got involved for no other reason than most likely because they thought it'd be entertaining. However, they decided to help protect these people by taking what was effectively their version of a duck and naming it what could be called a grand prophet. When they do this, these grand prophets, or emanators as they're called there, were given access to that deity's powers. So this duck, who later became known as Sir Quackers, started raising across through the destroyer's forces. At some point, the destroyer reached out to Karen for help and basically admonished Karen for looking the other way while this civilization was researching this topic. Goon, of course, holds no real sway over who gets destroyed, only that they can create. Karen decides that it was wrong of Moro to withhold this information and agrees with that other deity that they need to be destroyed. So now Karen starts getting involved, which breaks the accords that was originally formed between Karen and Moro. So now Moro sent forth a deity, or not deity, Moro sent forth some sentinels. There was actually one in particular that earned recognition from the same deity that provided power to Sir Quackers. And him and Sir Quackers went and really caused a stir up until the point that Karen herself decided to appear at the planet. During this point in time, the other Sentinels were attempting to evacuate as many people as possible. Ultimately, the planet was destroyed, with this book being the last thing that remains of it. They were likely wanting to dispose of this book the moment that they saw it, because some of the information in this book could lead into continuing the previous research. If granted to the mortal kind. But for now, I am going to take this book into the archives. He's going to look at you, Laguna. Would you care to join me for your first visit to the archives?
Yep.
With that, he goes over, and this magical door appears. He opens the door, and even from your side of it, you can see clear into there. It takes on the appearance of a library, but the shelves and books, the hallway with the shelves of books seems to go on endlessly. And him and Laguna are going to walk in there. What about the rest of you?
Hope is staying
What
put.
are you? Well, I mean, yeah, you're staying put, but what are you doing while they're in there?
Hope might make a snarky comment like, of course, an entire planet was destroyed because of someone doing things they weren't supposed to be doing. She says it like that, but really she's saying in her own words because of bullshit. I do have one question though.
Yes.
As a player, I know Kombai has to. This is usually around the time we ask Kombai if he has time to stay.
Oop, I was muted. I have time.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Saturday.
Yay. And I
All
know
right.
Hope just kind of goes to the pew, probably the one that's the most occupied, which is Marcus and Ari, and just sits down trying to process all the information.
I love that you're telling me what Marcus and Ari are doing.
Well, they are. They stated that earlier.
Yeah, I stated earlier that Marcus had sat down with Ari.
Yeah, I know you stated that you sat down with Ari, but you haven't stated what your reaction is to what Jacques told you and what you're
Right.
doing
I
that
didn't
front.
Well,
even
I was
go
waiting.
that
I was
far. I just said I was
I was
going to
giving
sit down.
I was giving everybody an opportunity to do theirs first while I'm taking notes.
Ari,
I was just laying there kind of dazed.
actually, I was going to say no, you're not. You've sobered
Aww.
up. you have sobered up, but you're not gripped by the fear and paranoia that you had before.
You had time to process
The-
the
the-
information
the whole
and
time-
weed.
Process.
The whole time that Jock had been talking, he had just been idly petting Ari's hair.
I'm
Aw.
sorry. That is such a big brother move. Nissan.
My heart.
Chat.
Yes.
I'm back to reality now.
So, I guess now that I'm feeling better, I go ahead and proceed to tell them about the forms that the doppelgangers had before they changed.
Marcus is just gonna nod, and
And that was not recorded. For some reason, Mike, listen, hold on, let me check the mic. I might have to redo that again. Ugh.
It shows that you're lighting up on stream.
But the problem is,
yeah, but
because it's lighting up on stream. Okay, now it's fixed. Now it's picked me up again. So I'm gonna have to redo that whole thing. So
And
basically,
in recap, Hope's pretty much covered the fact that the police officer was the one that's supposed to take Francis out on the date, and then covers the fact that they might have also met Philip's girlfriend, and covers the conversation that happened in the previous session during the while they were eavesdropping on Francis and Elizabeth
thank you.
to Marcus.
That's exactly it.
but yeah, Marcus is just gonna nod along, like he's listening, but he's processing all this information that is being tossed at him.
Anything from you, Flicker?
But what I'm doing?
Yeah.
Anything. Were you even listening, or were you too busy staring at the Fox girl?
The latter.
Well,
He
you know,
just
at this
the Fox
point,
girl got it.
at this point, she would have been, after her conversation with Marcus, she would have felt very uncomfortable being in her normal form, and she would have used disguise self to make herself look human again.
But Flicker knows.
No more distraction, Flicker.
But Flicker knows he's imagining things. There's something called imagination that a lot of deviants use.
Okay. No, I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm saying stop calling me out.
Oh, you
Laguna.
are ashamed.
Laguna. Meanwhile, Laguna is doing a Scrooge McDuck in the books.
Swimming in a sea of books.
So much. I love that reference.
Yeah. All right. So, moving in, there's a whole religion dedicated to what Flicker is doing.
It's in
Yeah.
the series.
It is. It is in the
Yes.
series. So wait, is Flicker secretly a gooner?
He might convert.
All right.
Here's a question: would most bards be gooners?
That is a good question.
That is.
Yeah.
I can't wait for Flicker to meet D Goon.
Let me join
Well-
you.
They have notes to share.
You'd have to wait. You'd have to wait another 70 years. They only wake up once every 1,000 years.
Okay, so it's still a little far away. I was going to say when I heard about prolificity that they're the reason for the baby boomers, but for the baby boom back in like the
No, that was-
but
That was for free labor.
huh?
That was for free labor.
Baby boom?
Yes. You.
So Combi
They
is
sh-
saying Flicker is trying to calm Renee down. That's what he's been doing during the
be
conversation.
flirting.
It's like, both forms are so natural, baby. You should let it.
Shut up! Not mine. So
All right. Without Zuzu's instigation, are you doing anything in specific or just?
well, I'm doing that while working on my instrument, I guess. No.
Roll me a performance.
Okay.
He might actually fail this one. It's not persuasion.
This is gonna be good.
Oh.
14.
It's 14.
That's good.
I'm
You
at
do.
home.
You do see that she is calming down.
Nice.
Okay, so if everybody's caught up on that end, Laguna. As you're walking the endless halls of the library that is the archives with Jacques, you know, like everything seems to keep shifting around in a constant basis.
I try to control it.
Roll me Arcana. You are able to make like a set of shelves open up and a doorway appear in there to lead to a private reading room.
Mm.
As you do that, Jacques like, yes, we have the ability. Moro gives us access to change the structure of this place at our will
Guys, we are
in
never
order to
seeing...
make it
Sorry. I was gonna say, guys, we are never seeing Laguna again.
as a means to help us properly store and record information. And he waves a hand, and you see everything shift around again, and you come up to what is effectively the librarian's desk. And hold on. I gotta get this picture out. And you see sitting at the desk, just reading a book all on its own. You see
Oh.
this.
We're gonna cover up Renee's picture.
You see the mind flayer sitting there as he.
I wave.
Yeah, you wave. He looks up from the book, eyes kind of narrow at you. Looks over at Jacques. Jacques like, "Hey, Fred, my man, I brought a I brought the end of Samsara." And you hear, yeah, I can't do a good mind flayer verbal.
I would be
But in your,
concerned
Real
if you
quick,
could.
what was the book called again?
End of Samsara.
so I'll spell it out.
Okay.
I forgot to add it to my notes, so I just wanted to make sure.
That's the name of the planet. But in your head, you hear, "My name's not Fred." And he said, listen, we can get into this all day, Fred, but your name's just so complicated, and I got the newbie here, and we don't need to just trouble his mind with all the specific details.
No, I'm good.
Plus, you feel like a Fred. So, I'm going to call you Fred for short. Fred. He looks at you, he says, "My name is not Fred." Jacques just like, "Oh, that's so Fred of you. Here, by the way, here's the record of Samsara. Go ahead and put it away." And as he starts leading you back out, he said, "Yeah, Fred's like the keeper of the archives. He just pretty much stays in here and makes sure everything stays nice and tidy. He looks kind of fearsome, but he's actually such a total bro." And as you're walking out, you can still just hear him yelling in your minds, "My name's not Fred!"
Is that
And
for
then,
everybody?
No, this is just Jacques and Laguna.
Okay.
And at this point, the two of you walk back out the door, and Jacques shuts it. Fred's so cool, isn't he?
That's all Hope heard, and is like, okay.
Name's not Fred.
And
Whoa.
Laguna took it
Laguna
personally.
Laguna just said a full sentence.
But Jurgen Narka Flocker Schmock is kind of hard to say repeatedly.
I'm willing to bet Jock even said it wrong.
I probably did. So I call him Fred. It seems to fit him. So with that, at this point, I'm bumping the time up to 10 o'clock at that point. And I am going to wind up long resting everybody.
Let's go.
Yay!
Guess who gets their channel divinity back?
You get it back in a short rest.
I know. But the long rest gives me all my spell slots too.
Did you even use any of them? Oh yeah, you
I
used
did.
the.
I did to confront Renee.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, with all of you back together, boom. Put you all back in the party sheet. All right. So, is there anything you guys are doing before you're laying down to sleep?
I go to a different pew. I'm not sleeping on the same pew as another man. As a man. With a man.
You notice like cots appear
Oh, I'll
for
take
you.
those instead.
Lol.
I'm not used to beds appearing out of thin air.
To be fair, if you were, I'd be very concerned.
And you'll see that Jacques and Renee are staying up to actually talk. All right. So, any of you doing anything, or are you going straight to bed?
Nah, we're wore out. I'm wore out.
Carry me.
I'll let Marcus do
Mar-
that.
Marcus will carry Ari to a cot and lay her down, and then find a cot himself to rest.
I have a feeling she's been spoiled. Hope actually says that quietly while giggling.
Who?
Marcus is gonna turn to Hope and be like, "Do you want to be carried to bed too?"
You hear her? And she walks off, turns and walks off, and dignified by that very statement. I am
He's
an
gonna chuckle as he's
independent
laying down.
woman. I am an independent woman. I do not need to be carried when I am well enough to walk. And then I go to a cot.
Now, Laguna.
Mhm.
So you don't actually sleep; you will meditate. So you
Mhm.
only need 4 hours,
Mm-hmm.
and
Correct.
you kind of know that with them going to bed, they'll be awake in like 6.
Mm-hmm.
See, it's 10.
So
hours would be 4
Jacques
a.m.
Jacques will invite you to talk with him and Renee.
Hmm. Hmm. I gotta stick with Plan B.
What about Plan F?
No, Marcus dies in Plan F. That is a Leverage reference, by the way, that I keep using. I love that show.
All right, so
I know I keep trying to kill off the Gaines character. I'm sorry about that, by the way.
Oh, that's
paralyze
fine.
it. You note that
If
Flicker.
it wasn't you, it'd be Zansu.
You notice that Flicker is already unconscious. So
I need to make sure he stays unconscious.
Just
Flicker, I
Not
need
trying
you
to
to
sneak
roll
into
me.
Renee's bed.
No, that's not what's going on.
he wants to keep Flicker from flirting with her so they can actually discuss about information. Is to
No,
manipulate her.
he's attempting to steal the bag of holding.
Oh.
Flicker, I need you to roll me a Constitution saving throw.
Okay.
Which one are you using?
Paralyzing first.
All right.
14.
Flicker, you wake up as Laguna stabs you with this dart.
Does he scream? Because if he does, I think he's waking the rest of us up.
Yeah, I am. Fuck you. Oh, you're gonna get fucked. Hey, would you like to see what happens when you piss off a bard at level 3?
So as you do this, I will say there's like a set of force that blast into you, Laguna, and blast you off into the distance. And you take 1 point of bludgeoning damage.
Hmm.
And then Jacques comes out and you see him like hold his hand over his face. Oh, what happened?
Something happened.
Well, I mean, I can see that. Looks like somebody broke one of the rules.
Oh. And I immediately stare at Laguna because I know Flicker woke me up.
So Flicker did wake us all up, right?
If you want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, there goes our long rest.
I'm sure we get a mercy ruling.
Yeah. So Marcus is
So-
gonna sit up and cast light on his cane to kind of shine light into the area.
I mean, with all the lamps that's going into marijuana burning, I don't think we need
He was-
light.
He was asleep, then startled awake. Instant reaction.
Oh, okay, that makes more sense.
So at this point, Jacques like shielding his eyes a little bit from the brightness, and you see the light suddenly start dimming. Oh. So in exchange for the fact that I can never leave this chapel physically, I have control over this as if it was my entire domain.
Oh, wow.
And what that includes is I impose rules upon this space. And whenever these rules get infringed upon, either you are unable to do them or a repercussion happens.
Oh, is it even worth keeping the bag of holding? Because I'm afraid if Laguna gets the bag of holding and then we find another bag of holding. Nobody
It's my
else will
bag of
ever be
holding.
able to get
He's
anything
already
to-
stated that he's willing to give Laguna a bag of holding as a reward.
Dun, dun, dun,
And
dun.
Sansu has stated
Wait a
before,
minute.
we are not
Laguna's
character.
Laguna's not planning on combining 2 bags of holding, is he?
He might
No.
be.
Why would I
They
do
know
that? I can't hold as many books.
Oh, that's true. Fair enough. Okay. I am no longer disturbed by this thought.
Laguna wants a portable hole, is what he wants.
Hey, you know, I don't
But that's
blame
not
you.
going to happen anytime soon.
So,
Okay.
and he's going to look around and see Laguna that's kind of been blasted off. So I'm guessing you broke a tenant.
Sure.
Sure, whatever. Flicker's just laying there.
Oh, this will have to be something to take in consideration for your apprentice test.
Wah, wah, wah.
Oof.
Now that Marcus is realizing that it's nothing impeding or, you know, going to kill us, he's going to just lay his head back down and go back to sleep.
Ugh.
Hey,
I don't
Laguna,
remember being promised a bag of holding.
he's been telling you he's going to give you a reward, even up to a bag of holding after you become an apprentice.
I don't remember that.
Did you already take off the paralyzing dart?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, knowing that now, do you want to retcon it or?
If I know I'm getting a bag of holding, I wouldn't do that, probably.
Okay, probably.
Probably, he says.
Probably.
Now we go on to an alternate timeline where Laguna knows better. If Flicker's trying to say something, I think.
I hear the typing. All right, so I'm going to, with that, I'm going to go ahead and long rest. I am well in my right to commit self-defense. If he attempts out into the, here's the thing: like one of Jacques' rules is no violence. So
Not really count as violence if it's just insulting words.
yes,
Yeah.
Aw.
Vicious mockery.
yes, you would either find yourself unable to speak, or find that the damage gets reflected back to you.
Oh, that's why he wasn't able to say anything. Okay. I hear the keyboard too.
Clickety clackety, clickety clackety.
Clickety clackety. I like this keyboard.
It's very
I
quiet
want one.
compared to-
So I've long
want one.
rested everybody. It is now 4:00 in the morning. How much longer do you have, Combine?
Probably for like 45 minutes. It's 30, 45.
Okay.
All right. So as you guys wake up, you see Jacques there, and he claps his hands. And he's like, "So I've got wonderful news, my little friends."
And big friends.
One big friend.
Well, so far, there's not been any movement coming from the doppelganger's nest. So we are able to verify that it is, in fact, 3 of them. They have settled down for the night. And also, the fair maiden Renee has decided to come on into the chapel as an assistant of mine.
Roll
You
insight on
see,
that real quick.
go for it. You see her put up her glasses and she's like, it seems like a decent enough job, and at least while I'm here, I'll be safe.
Oh.
Wow.
Now that's good timing.
Lol.
You make your own decisions.
I'm still gonna be suspicious. I'm not gonna act on it. Oh.
Wait, suspicious of what?
I mean, I don't trust anyone? Question mark. Point doppelganger. Point.
Oh. Actually,
Maybe.
I do have a question. Do you have any advice about fighting these things? I've never fought one before.
Wait, me?
Everybody. Mostly to
I don't
Jock.
know.
And Marcus seems to know what they are.
Well, as long as you can avoid becoming surprised by them, you should be all right for the most part. They mostly stick to melee attacks. They do have the ability to read your minds to some extent.
Noted.
They're also incapable of being affected by magical effects that might alter their mindscape.
Shit.
Alter Mindscape.
Such as like charming them or something along those lines.
I don't know if that
I
works.
wasn't.
So, I guess my magic will work fine. Wait, did I ever get my new weapon? Or is it still being... Yeah, it's still being made. I still got my other one. Okay. I'm
Yeah.
just confirming.
Hmm.
Okay. So he gives you the address of where to find the doppelganger hideout. Matter of fact, are you guys heading on that way now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, stay away from me. Laguna, books, books, books. Flicker, Renee. Marcus, save the cheerleader, save the world.
And I know what that's referencing, which makes it even better. Oh my
Lol.
god. Oh no.
It's
I love how he doesn't
sounds
have anything for me. Which I think that's a good thing.
You
Well,
have
Hope
no
got lost on the
thoughts.
way.
Huh?
Hope probably got lost on the way, abandoned us.
No, I'm right here.
So you know it is dark.
Harry's gonna have to hold somebody because
Yeah, hold
Harry
Marcus.
cannot see.
Hold Marcus.
Harry holds Marcus.
Yeah.
I will temporarily remove the lighting.
For stream reasons.
Well, not just that. Well, not for that. I'll let you do it so you can reposition your characters as to what you're doing.
I'm guessing this is
Like your formation.
Oh.
Excuse me.
So is this a fence so we can see through, or
Well, there is
Yes.
a door too. It looks like a door.
That's a gate.
The
a
gate.
big,
It's
yeah,
a
a
gate.
big gate?
Yeah, it's a gate. So there's a big iron gate and an iron fence that goes all the way around. It's a one-story building, but the property itself looks like it was once upon a time something fancy. But you can also see patches of where it's just not being kept up. Doesn't look like anybody's there. Looks fairly well abandoned.
Sorry, dude. You gotta move again.
Patches of the grass are dead. So Ari, I need to know what you're doing for a light source.
She's holding on to one.
So you just going to go in the dark and hold on to Marcus.
Clinging on
Are
to a
we
golden
sneak?
god.
Holding
Are
on
we
to his
trying to
jacket.
sneak in? Yes. Are we trying to sneak in?
Oh, That is the question. I'm fine either way.
If we're trying to sneak in and not be any suspicious or anything like that, I'm holding on to Marcus. Otherwise, if we're just blatantly going over there, I'm gonna be going in there with a lantern. But I'd like to have the lantern ready on hand.
You guys are still technically outside the area.
Or are you wanting us in the area, or
I'm
I thought
just giving you a heads up off of where you're located. You are still technically located outside the area. Because Ari's making a note about if you're going in, barging in. I say you're outside the area. Um, you're at the point of deciding if you're going to go in stealthily or not.
Yeah, I think right now we're just kind of coming up with a plan. Or a plan of action. I mean,
Marcus is gonna turn around and suggest guns blazing? Question mark.
well, if we're gonna do guns blazing, it would be better if Hope and Marcus went in the front, Ari uses us as cover and then sneaks around, and then Flicker and Laguna stay in the back and use range attacks. But that's just my thought. As far as sneaking in, I don't know the layout very well. Can we see what's going on around the fence? Like inside the building? Does it have like
No, it has walls.
Okay, so it's not decrepit. Good to know.
I mean, it's not kept up. It looks dirty. It looks older, but it's not falling apart.
Laguna range attack is where you attack from a distance.
It's even funnier for Decaden because he can see my cheat.
I just read in the chat. I'm just assuming.
Yeah, Laguna is not combat oriented.
Yeah, I figured. That's why.
Oh, that reminds me. You said you had wanted to adjust your spells on a long rest.
I did swap out. I got Find
Okay.
Familiar.
Okay, so you done swapped your spells out.
Yep.
Speaking of which, does anybody want to prep something
Actually,
before we go into combat,
I did
or
get
potentially
my.
go into?
Let me make sure I got my armor on. I got my weapon out.
are my
Like,
cantrips fixed, or do I have another list of them?
Your cantrips are fixed.
Okay.
okay, my AC's up, so yeah, I'm set for battle? Question mark. I mean, I won't know till I get in there. My AC's up. My weapon is drawn out. I got the shield and the hammer.
Yep, I'm set. Are there any pre-battle spells you guys want to cast, so you're not casting them in the middle of battle?
Let's see. That's a good point.
Ari, it sounds to me like you guys are going like on attack mode. Do you want me to set you up with a lantern?
Okay, so I have a level 0 spell, which I guess is called a cantrip.
Yeah, it's a cantrip.
And
Yeah.
yeah, I just want that I can produce a light.
Jade.
Yes, I'd be okay with a lantern.
Okay. Well, I've got to. Oh, it's lagging on me. There we go. There we go. Lantern apply to you.
Let's see. Okay, this one's a level 1 spell. It is 10 minutes though. Until the spell ends, one willing creature you touch is protected against certain types of creatures. Aberrations, celestials, elementals, fae, fiends, and undead. Would that be ideal to
That
put on Ari?
hold on. I am currently fighting with the fact that
Who's our frontliner again? Decaden?
Yeah,
Or Marcus? Yeah, alright.
Yeah, he's the frontliner. I'm like,
I am
you're like
currently fighting with
DPS.
the
yeah,
fight
DPS.
fighting with the fact that this thing is supposed to be applying this effect to Ari.
Yeah, it got applied to me, I think.
The blinded?
Well, because everything went gray, so I was just getting ready
Oh,
to ask. I'm like,
hold on. I know what happened.
Oh,
There you go.
okay, yep, that's a lot better.
Yay.
Gonna go gray because of dark vision.
Yeah, you have grade because of your dark vision. Because I had put the blinded effect for back when you guys were sneaking, and now that you guys are going full in action mode, as you mess with that, you hear the gate gives off a loud creaking. What were you asking about, Hope?
protection from good and evil. Doppelgangers are considered fiends, right?
No.
I don't know. Marcus, what would they be classified as? Because I don't
Hang
know.
on, I'm trying.
Monstrosity.
Yeah, It was either aberration or monstrosity.
They're
Okay, so
monstrosities.
okay, so that won't work. So yeah, I'm good.
Let's see. Do, 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 do. You know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna do a pre-battle thing. I'm gonna give Marcus enhanceability. Uh, I'm gonna give him Bear's Endurance. Is that
Okay.
okay? Yeah. He's gonna get 2d6 hit points. Temp.
Nice.
And
Do
he
you
has
have a
Huh?
Do you have a effect to apply that?
Yeah, I think so. Yo, 2d6 temporary. Yeah, this one. Does that work?
Hold on. Let me.
Yeah. Yep, there we go. Got it.
All
That's
right.
my cat.
You gave him Bear's Endurance.
How long
So he
does
has
that
a
last for?
An hour concentration.
Okay. So as long as you don't get hit, so good. Got to make sure that Flicker doesn't get hit.
Yeah. I love support roles.
And I guess Laguna is gonna find a raven.
Now, is he casting that as a
Oh.
ritual or a spell?
That's a spell.
Okay, so
So
you don't have to delay time.
No.
Okay, check off the spell slot.
Yep.
Let me see if I have that in the NPC. I do.
What bonuses does the Raven give you? I forget.
It basically it can only like
I know there's certain familiars you can summon that actually give you like almost like passive buffs, if you would. Um, but I know a lot of them are just distractions, basically.
yeah, that's all Find Familiar does is it's just a help action, and what it does is it gives you the help action, but it has the ability to fly and it acts familiar, or it acts blah.
That was
It
the
act,
daddest of dad jokes.
yeah. It has the ability to fly, and you can see through its eyes, and they have ability to mentally communicate and so on.
So they're both thinking books, 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 books. Got it.
Got it. Yep.
Well, I think it's actually something where it has its own mindset.
It's its own creature, but I've got 100-foot telepathy.
So basically,
Yeah.
Laguna's thinking books, 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 and Raven's thinking shiny, shiny, shiny.
Yes.
The winning
That's a
combo.
crow thing. Crows are shiny, shiny, shiny.
All birds are shiny, shiny, shiny.
Laguna?
To an extent, yeah.
All right, Ash, this is going to be your raven. Would you like to name it?
Fred.
Oh.
Oh my. So we have not Fred and Fred. Got it.
All right.
We could try sneaking up to the door and then Marcus bash it in.
Breaching clear, basically.
Breaching clear. I mean, Ari can do the explosion too. I mean, I don't know.
You have been noted that right now you're going in to catch them while they're asleep. So,
Oh, yeah, so let's try to sneak in as best as we can, and then we
Technically, if we did a breach and clear, it would still catch them by surprise. Because you got to think if we're and actually, Zuzu, it would be you kicking in the door and me going in. That's how a breach and clear works. But
Okay, so I have a -1 strength.
I was trying to familiarize yourself with breach and clear tactics, but no,
So,
a
my
breach and
question
clear
for you.
would.
My question for Marcus: do you have your shield up?
Yes. Swords drawn, shields up.
Okay. All right, just checking.
Sun's out, guns out.
Well, the sun's technically not out. So what we doing?
It's about to be.
I think we'll just go ahead and barge through the door.
Hopefully, it'll just give us 1 free turn, but.
Well, you still got to make it through the iron gate first.
Are you telling me
Somebody was click. It let me click on it, so it obviously wasn't locked.
Oh no, it's not locked. It's just, are you trying to be quiet or not with it?
No, I'm not going to try to be quiet.
You hear a loud creaking sound come from it.
Oh, I was hoping
It
we
needs
could.
WD-40.
Roll me a D100.
Okay.
Hold up now. Who opened it? I thought it was Marcus.
I did, yeah. And then somebody started
Ari!
playing with it.
I just wanted to roll the dice.
How? And there's one thing when you do a 1 out of 20, but a 1 out of 100?
I will state that
Yay,
lower
that
is
one.
better.
Yeah, lower is better.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was about to say, what if I open the door? Cough, cough.
Let's let Ari open the door. She got a perfect.
she
She
is-
got the nat 20.
She is the rogue.
All right. So with that, you notice it does creak, but Ari goes slow enough with it that it's not as noticeable. All right. So move your characters where you're going.
I think that was an actual thing. Oh, you guys are going at the door. Okay.
You know, every time you've pulled up a map, Zansu, I've always felt like the certain objects are way bigger than they should be in comparison to our tokens.
He's
Like-
doing his
like
best.
The thing is this is supposed to be like a 10-foot gap here for the door because it's a double
Right.
door. But
It ended up
Yeah.
being 20.
yeah, that's the problem. Because like, if I put the grid back on,
Yeah, what did? Because I know what it's like. Okay, I see now.
yeah.
Because
So
I've had to
go with
convert
20.
maps to some of these kind of programs, and it's always so difficult to get the proportions right.
And then
Yeah.
Flicker's staying back there. You know.
Well, yeah, I'm.
No, he's waiting on me.
Okay.
I've
Let me try.
there's a lag on.
And Ari went ahead in.
Come here, Fred.
Hey, Fred.
All right, at this point, I need all of you to please roll me initiative.
All right, Matt, let's do this.
I clicked a number.
Come on, computer lag. Let's go. There we go.
Hey, Flicker.
Or internet lag. I'm sorry. It was internet that's bogging me down.
Do we have another reroll available
Nah, it's fine.
for to
I
redeem?
like
Who,
Okay.
who wants to reroll?
Well, I saw the nat one Flicker had.
it's
Well,
initiative.
looks like Flicker's all right with going last.
Okay, that makes sense. He is the bard. Actually, how many burst redeems are there?
There's 3.
Okay.
Yeah, and I've only done one.
Well, I was gonna redeem the last 2 if we didn't have to use them. And just like cheat that way. I don't know.
Marcus, Ari's entered in the door. It's your turn. Now, this is not still a 6-second time frame. Battle has not. This is an investigation.
Um,
So
10-foot space. Ari's in front of me. Hope's next to me. Am I able to squeeze past the both? Oh, I guess since we're not in combat, I would be able to without being impeded.
Yeah. You
Um,
still got the 30 feet and yada, 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 but this is an investigation. So it's not a 6-second rule. So it's like a minute each round.
let's do this. Let's go about here.
As you come in, you see another door to your right. Off over here, you can see looks like old disheveled coat racks to the. I say off to here, but
Yeah, you'll have to mark it somehow.
you see like a coat rack area over here.
Okay.
This is clearly looking inside. This is a house that used to be a little higher up, higher end. Like they weren't quite nobility, but they were at the border of it. All right.
Great.
All right. I'm going to reject your movement until it's your turn.
Oh, let me. Sorry. My fault.
And you see over here to your right, there's a door. Moving up, you see kind of like an open area off over here. You see another door here and another room with a door here. And you can actually see that there's another place. This is roughly a large size house. Like this would have been a 1-story mansion back in the.
Um, aside from the obvious, is there anything else I notice?
You can see like these things right here would be like unlit torches.
Okay.
Lighting. They would have interior lighting, but it's all turned off or it's all cut off.
Aside from that, is there anything else? I say it in the way I do because I'm pushing a check, but I don't want to insinuate what kind of check. That's why I stated, is there anything aside from the obvious I would notice?
No.
Okay. So then
I will say there is kind of a smell coming from this room.
do I know what kind of smell?
I'm going to call for a check on that one.
That's why I'm pushing.
There would be an insight check for that.
Okie
You can definitely smell. There seems to be like some rotted meat, and then there's also the smell of, whenever you kill something and then you let it set out overnight,
correct.
there's that smell coming from in there.
Am I close enough to? Let's see. A check would have been bonus. Well, I guess again, I'm not in combat. Am I close enough to open the door and check inside?
On your next turn, because we're going to
Yeah, I just
investigation. Give everybody a turn.
right. Yeah, no, that's why I wanted to verify that I wasn't close enough. All right, yeah, let me go ahead and complete my turn then. Or do you know what? Let me relay to those behind me what I sense.
How loud?
It wouldn't have to be loud because you
Yeah, just
guys.
enough for the closest couple people to hear me.
Yeah, you ain't but like 30 feet away.
Okay.
Right. And then I'll go ahead and end my turn.
All right, Laguna. Are you dashing?
Yep.
Just full on sprinting inside.
You see the same things. Um, off over here, you're able to see it a little better, but there just seems to be like pictures of various family, what would have been various family members.
Okay.
Hope.
Would that work?
I cannot hear you, Hope.
Would that work?
Would what work?
My distance.
Work for what?
Am I going too far? Like,
That's 30 feet. That's your speed.
okay.
I think Ari's the only one with 25 feet.
And would I? Okay. Uh, doppelgangers have magic that can be sensed, right?
I mean, does Hope have any way of knowing this? Because Marcus does.
Well, Marcus does. Laguna does.
Well, I'm going on a hunch as far as common sense factor because this thing did transform. So
There's biological magic, and then there's weave magic.
I don't know if I should do an Arcana check though to see if I can tell where they are in the area.
If that's what you want to do, then tell me that's what you're doing. I'm not going to tell you whether or not it works until after you do it.
Well, I'm mostly asking Marcus.
Okay.
So
Well,
you want it?
I thought you were asking me because it got quiet.
Kind of, but not really.
All right.
So.
I'm not sure what I'm being asked.
She's basically wanting to ask. Hope is asking Marcus if she'd be able to sense them doing an Arcana check. If she'd be able to sense the magic from them.
Not unless they're casting a spell
Well, I guess I'll end my turn.
or actively using magic. We're under the impression they're asleep, so they would not be actively using spells. The doppelganger's ability to shapeshift is a natural ability, so it's not considered magic.
Yeah. It's not the same as using a spell. It's like an ability and not a spell.
It's in the same. It's in the same concept of your ability to grow hair, or your fingernails getting long. That's kind of like them. They can naturally just change their shape.
Oh, that makes more sense.
Yeah. Ari, your turn.
right, so I'll go ahead up to. Sorry, I moved earlier because I thought I was automatically moving with Marcus.
Because she's attached to the hip.
Yes, pretty much.
All right, that's 20 feet. You have 5 more feet.
I'd say put yourself between Marcus and that wall,
Oh,
right in front of,
yeah.
right behind the door.
Right here, right? Or
Yeah, that's
what I was
All right.
thinking.
That's your movement. You doing
Hide.
anything?
I'm hiding.
Roll me stealth.
ninja roll, side dash.
Oh, Zuzu says she clipped that whole moment of
Oh my, really?
I reached out and grabbed Marcus, and then you were like, well, if she reaches out and grabs me, I said, hold up, I never said that she actually grabbed me.
I am going to
Nice.
clip it. I am going to clip it. I wrote down the time, so it's going to be clipped.
Bastard. And you know what? In all fairness, I say you bastard because that is exactly something I would do in a campaign. So I mean, like, it's ingenious. I love the idea, and that's why I said you bastard the way I did.
I just followed what he said because I was just like, oh my gosh.
Well, I was thinking the same thing, but more aggressive. Like, Zansu, I can't believe you.
Well, let's just put it this way: my respect for Zansu as a DM increased in that moment.
It immediately went back down.
Okay.
No, it stayed up. It's just it was such a devious DM move that I was like, yes, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, it was like I was going to interrupt you on that to get the point across, to tell you, hey, this has crossed my mind. This very well could be happening like this.
And that's why I immediately opened up your and mine private DMs, was because I was wholeheartedly expecting you to write me and say, go ahead and play along because I'm going to do a thing.
I would have been just so like, oh no.
I would have just interrupted it, let you continue on to act as natural as possible, and then said, and by the way, Ari, while you're alone, Marcus suddenly starts transforming. That would be when Marcus starts running up. So you wouldn't even have known it.
Alright, so I rolled technically a 9.
That's your movement? That's bonus action?
I believe so. I don't think I can do anything else.
Well, not wisely.
Not wisely. I'm close enough to the door where I can sense anything from it or hear anything.
Roll me a perception check.
Hey.
You can hear the buzzing of like flies in that room.
So there's definitely something dead in there. It's probably their dining room, quote unquote.
I like Laguna. Hey guys, split up. There's no way they can doppelganger all of us, surely.
No.
I don't know about
As Laguna proceeds to continue going on off by himself.
Is it Laguna or isn't it? You'll never know.
One way to know.
Laguna himself won't know until I decide.
He's maniacally laughing.
I mean, technically, Marcus right now could actually be a doppelganger investigating doppelgangers, and I just interrupt this, Marcus, and then all of a sudden, by the way, Marcus, Decaden, you're still in the alley looking.
I'm still waiting. Now I'm even more waiting on the DM. I'm waiting for the ping to chime in my ear. Just be like, yep, there it is.
The big giveaway was the little familiars.
Have you guys done a lot of these kind of investigation scenes? Any of you?
Technically, but I've always failed them, so I don't think I'm a reliable source.
They started off the very first chapter right before Switzerland doing this kind of stuff.
Okay, so you guys aren't completely okay. So, um, Jade, you could open the door. Um, you could hold action, um, or just carry
She
on
te-
and
she did use her action to perceive it. She can still interact with the door.
right.
I can still interact and open it slowly.
Yes.
Okay. I'll go ahead and do that.
All right.
Trying not to.
The door creaks a little bit, very, very quietly though. She didn't open it enough that you can see in there from where you are at, Marcus.
Yep, that's perfectly good.
All
I
right.
only suggested it so that way she kind of has an idea of what she's able to do during these kinds of events. That's why I had asked originally to. I don't want to push anybody to a decision, but I want to kind of give you options if you're not familiar doing with these kind of scenarios.
It's
I
been a
I
long
personally,
time
appreciate it.
since they. It's been a long time since they've had to do them.
well, I
Actually, I wasn't even
personally,
involved in it the first time, I
Oh
believe.
yeah, that's right. Because they were actually investigating Ari.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what it was. Is they were investigating Ari and having to locate Ari in that investigation. So it was Zuzu, Kanbai, and somebody else.
Combi has about 5 minutes, I think.
Yeah.
I'll end my turn.
yeah, we'll do like one turn and then we'll just.
Fred, Fred, it's your turn. What do you want Fred to do, Ash?
Sorry. Yeah, Fred's gonna go to the left.
To the left, to the left, to the left.
Go to the
Okay,
left. Go to the right. Now
hold on.
slide.
Let me. All right, he's used 15 feet of his movement here, and you're wanting him to go to the left.
Yep.
How far?
As far as I can go. Dashing.
Okay, there's a wall there. He has 50 feet of fly movement.
Oh, it's just a solid wall there. Okay.
Yeah, that's just like a little alcove right there.
Yeah, Marcus has done seen it that he's like a coat rack area.
And then Irie had opened the door.
Yeah, Ari opened the door.
Burden door.
Okay, so 15 plus 25, 30. He has 10 feet of movement yet left. I don't think he has. Does Find Familiar get dark vision?
I believe that's dependent on the creature.
Since ravens are typically out in the daytime.
Familiar?
How
It
familiar.
can attack, but it can take other actions as normal.
Let's see.
Gaining the benefits of any special senses that the familiar has. It's based off of the animal, so unfortunately. He doesn't have dark vision.
I knew I should have picked an owl.
Yeah, surprisingly enough, ravens do not have dark vision.
Well,
Huh.
it makes sense because they're only like daytime creatures. They're intelligent by far. They know how to make tools and whatnot, but they don't. They're not active at night, unlike a lot of literature suggests.
So he opens the door. He sees nothing.
All right.
Ash, ravens do have mimicry though.
Yeah.
What does that mean
That's
in
it.
this sense?
Oh, so mimicry is they can mimic simple sounds they heard, such as person whispering, a baby crying, or an animal chittering. A creature that hears the sound can tell they are imitations with a successful DC 10 Wisdom Insight check. That's what mimicry's description reads.
Yeah.
Which.
Decaden just reading it completely off the page that I shared.
Actually, I pulled it up on Roll 20.
Oh.
Roll 20.
All right. So he's got 10 more feet of movement.
No, just stay there.
Okay. Flicker,
Yes.
your move.
All right, bet. Let's see. We're trying to find them. Yes, here. Right. I'll go in.
All right. You have 5 more feet of movement.
And then I'll trivialize this entire thing by activating my eyes.
So what?
I could activate my eyes, yes.
Oh, that's right.
Yep. It is your bonus action. I will say, as you're technically in investigation initiative, where each round takes around a minute.
Yeah, only lasts for one turn.
Yeah.
Better to just manually do it. Okay.
You mean manually see? I've tried
Well,
to
I
figure
mean-
out. I don't know if
He's
it's
talking about activating his mystic eyes.
okay, because I don't know if it's me. I don't know if it's because I'm tired. I don't know if it's because of my migraines. But
How many cards am I holding up?
All right. That's your 30 feet of movement.
I guess I'll just watch out for anything weird. Or
Roll
I'll
me.
just-
Roll me perception.
Okay. You perception +3.
Okay.
Any markings? Any signs? Anything or anywhere it was?
You happen to notice over by the coat rack, there's some more family pictures. One of them happens to be more of a pale skinned, not pale, but she hasn't been out in the sun a whole lot. She wears modest clothing, not it's not super fancy, but it's also at the same time not drab and dreary. She has kind of longer, almost curly, wavy hair, black hair.
uh,
Okay. She's probably a doppelganger.
It's the picture of her for some reason, this kind of sticks out to you because it's almost like this picture has been made a big deal of in this house.
Hmm. Okay. Um, where's the thing? The picture?
Uh,
It's like on the map. Is it like to my left or?
yeah, let me get to this is lagging on me. It's like right against the wall down here.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. I'll probably go check that out on my next turn then. For now, blink.
Marcus.
It is also 9:35.
Yeah, is this the top of round 2? Yeah, we should probably call it here
Yeah.
That's fun.
for combi's sake.
My brain.
Oh, I was really hoping to get to this picture. Someone noticing it.
To be
Can Flicker
continued.
take the photo?
He hasn't even made it to it. It's kind of a large. You know what? All right, how far can you see with your lantern?
Let me see. With a lantern, I can see Laguna from here.
No, towards the direction that Combi went.
I'm trying to see myself. Um,
Can you see where this black circle is that I'm going up
yes, I
and
can
down?
see it.
Okay, with your nat 20,
Okay.
you notice that Flicker comes in and he's looking at that picture as you recognize the picture of Elizabeth.
That's what I
And
was worried about. I noticed it.
and with that, I'm gonna call game.
Oh, I see.
Trauma activated.
Well, problem is that he wasn't
Oh
here last
my.
session. So the minute Zansu described the situation, I was like, "That's Elizabeth. That's Elizabeth." And I'm like, "No, he wouldn't do that."
Yeah, he
He
would.
did
So this is what I mean because I've told you guys, Zuzu Hope made all the wrong decisions. If she went with Ari to the pub, she would have met the first two doppelgangers. When she went to follow him home, she left Elizabeth alone and followed Francis.
Oh shit! No! Oh shit!
absolutely trolling.
Oh. Oh, that hurts so much. You have no idea. Ugh.
Okay, it's all part of the process.
What process is that? The the using the brain
Stress.
process or the brain fart process? Cause like,
That wasn't even either.
Yes.
That was just randomness. You made your decisions based off of what Hope would have done. And it wasn't necessarily bad decisions. It's just you missed out on every. There, there was, out of the 3 routes, 2 of them gave you something.
and I made a nat one in every one of them. I nat one in life.
No, you just picked the 1/3, the 33% that didn't pay out.
You know what's actually kind of funny? I know the
Well-
actual odds of that because I've been doing probability math. And now I'm like, oh, how did I end up
Odds of
doing so badly?
what kind of probability math would apply here?
Alright, we're good. You wanna raid out? Is there anybody even on?
We got Wab and them and Moa playing Marvel Rivals. I would say Void Doll, but they're probably about to close out themselves. We got Ananabi, Holy FX, Killian's on.
Oh, we haven't raided into Holy or Killian in a while. Like, I know the last few that we done was Ananabi and Lab.
Okay, I will now leave. Goodbye, chat. My head hurt.
Bye.
Bye, Combi.
Uh,
Bye,
thanks,
Combi.
Combi.
I come by.
I love foxes.
His party words. I love Fox Girls.
I know.
Oh,
Yeah,
he's gonna end up married to Renee. Hopefully.
maybe.
Maybe.
If the
I
union
will say,
passes.
I will say, I was very specific whenever I said waifu number one.
Yeah, I saw that. I heard that. And I'm like, you're gonna spoil him. But it's probably a good thing because this is fate.
Yeah. Spoil
So-
Combi. Ari's getting spoiled by being princess carried everywhere.
Is it spoiling?
I think she needs it after all the emotional trauma.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Is it spoiling? So we're raiding out into Killian. He is doing Dead by Daylight.
Oh, he really likes that game.
That is
Yeah.
his bread and butter. Between that and Flight Sim.
Yeah. But we actually haven't been raiding out in a very long time to begin with.
Yeah. I've been in a stagnant area. I don't even feel like doing my Nuzlocke anymore. Because, like, I feel so burned out. So I'm
Well,
gonna
you got
go-
your score.
Yeah, so I figure if I'm gonna stream again, it'll be something from this computer.
Yeah. It's just easier to do it from the computer than it is to constantly hook back and then swap from one thing to another to another to another.
I wouldn't mind it so much if I could hook the emulator cord to the computer, but I can't do that. I have to hook it to your laptop.
Yeah.
So, so
But
that's
we are
yeah.
getting ready to head out and raid now. Bye bye, everyone. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for
Night.
watching, and hope you all have a wonderful, wonderful night.